Hello listeners, this is Bart Fanshawe Brown, Director, CEO, and Chief Financial Officer of Dreams Into Action, a purveyor of fine vinyl dining based in the posher part of Catford. Firstly listeners, I would like to apologise for the absolute filth that you might have heard on the show last week. Rest assured, Vic and Tommy have been severely chastised for their heretical banter about Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and they'll find their pay packets significantly lighter this week. From now on, these broadcasts will be wholesome, informative, and focused firmly on the business end of selling high-quality records. To be fair, sales have gone down by 85% in the last 2 months. Our balance sheet was looking worse than Venezuela's to an extent that would make even Jeremy Corbyn blush. And I got such a shock that I nearly cancelled my subscription to the Catford Lawn Tennis Association, or Clitter, as us Gold Card members call it.
Clitter? Where the tennis is stimulating, no doubt. Is there really a tennis club in Catford, Bart?
There certainly is, Vic. The likes of you wouldn't know about it, though. It's an exclusive club with a small but select membership of upstanding, professional, upper-middle-class locals.
It can't be that exclusive, Bart, if they'll allow a second-hand vinyl huckster like you to join their ranks. Besides, Catford is hardly brimming with the creme de la creme of London society. No wonder it's exclusive.
Yeah, the creme round here smells a bit off, though. Nonsense to you both. Catford is increasingly a hotbed of lawyers, bankers and professionals, and my God, the social cleansing around here can't happen fast enough. And now that restrictions are easing somewhat, I'm back on the grass and pleasuring new members with my firm forehand. I'm basically the Black Roger Federer.
You mean Swiss and bland, but with a game full of holes?
Well, lockdown or not, I've been religiously pleasuring my member every day for the last 2 months. Well, except on a Sunday when I take the good Lord's advice and have a little rest for the sake of me eyesight. If we could just put the cheese and semen to one side for a moment, I'd like to propose a change to the usual review format and talk about an artist whose name is whispered with hushed reverence across the globe.
Yeah, but if you're going to talk about the record, what am I going to do then?
Well, you can just sit there and do nothing but listen in slack-jawed admiration, like Tommy typically spent his entire working day. This week, listeners, we bring you a rarity from one of the greatest, if not the greatest, artists of the 1980s, Mr. Howard Jones.
Hushed reverence? More like silent embarrassment? You are joking, aren't you, Bart? The whole purpose of these podcasts is to help flog some hard-to-find records and make some bunts. Howard Jones sold so many millions of records, so they're worth fuck all. I know you love his music, Bart, and have an unnaturally intense man crush on him, but that doesn't make his records valuable.
That, Vic, is where you are wrong. You may have your finger on the pulse of obscure records that nobody wanted when they came out and are now worth a small fortune, but I have my finger firmly on Howard Jones, and I possess the most complete collection of his records in the world. And it's just a matter of time before the true magnitude of his genius is rediscovered by a new generation.
Yeah. So how many records are in your collection then? And what is your estimation of their worth?
In terms of value, it's priceless to all who know and love Howard. The last time I counted, the collection amounted to 453 records, amassed from the good old UK to Japan, where Howard is seen as a synthesizer samurai. They also worshipped him in Israel.
Oh, don't tell me. As some kind of Moog Messiah. Anyway, deploying my now apparently redundant rare record expertise, your collection can't realistically be worth more than £50. You'll probably get more if you recycled it down the local dump.
Nonsense, Vic, because this is a very rare UK copy of his wonderful 1985 single, Life in One Day.
You know, I have to confess, Bart, I don't know it. It must have been released sometime after his meteoric rise and brief peak when his career was already in a downward decline to pop oblivion, until the producers of I Used to Be a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here came knocking at his door, and even they were desperate because Milli Vanilli probably turned them down.
Everybody's a bloody critic these days, aren't they? All terrorized into liking the same stuff by the cool police and making a shallow virtue of being cowardly little conformists. And you, Vic, your ignorance astounds me. Life in One Day was the 7th top 20 single by Howard, reaching number 14 in the charts. It was an elegant electro-calypso, accompanied by a cracking video in which Howard...
Oh, spare me the homoerotic details, Bart.
You may jest, Vic, but as well as the standard 7-inch vinyl issue of Life in One Day, there was also a very limited edition that was shrink-wrapped, numbered, and included a free single which included 2 live tracks, Always Asking Questions, a new song on the other 7-inch. It's nigh on impossible to find a copy of these two in its original shrink-wrap these days, with the original sticker reading Limited Edition Gatefold Double Pack HOW 8F. It must be worth a small fortune these days.
Okay. Let me take a look at the rare record price guide. Nah, nothing there. What about Discogs? Let me just get on my computer.
The problem for you, Vic, is that you're oh so smug and superior when it comes to music.
I'm smug and superior. Oh, I'm not the one who looks down on absolutely everybody. At least I have some knowledge, some expertise to offer.
Ha! Well, people have had enough of listening to bloody experts, haven't they? People are free to exercise their own choices, and they don't need experts to tell them what they want, what they need, and what they like. And I feel confident that dear Margaret would agree, were she here with us today.
Oh Christ, here we go again. What on earth does Margaret Thatcher have to do with it?
If Margaret Thatcher was still alive, Bart, I doubt she'd want to waste her time hanging out in a Catford record shop with 3 losers during lockdown discussing Howard Flippin' Jones.
Okay, Bart, tell me this. What sort of money would you be prepared to pay for a worthless mint condition copy of a sealed, shrink-wrapped Gatefold 7-inch double pack by Howard Jones?
Well, copies have changed hands for over £70.
Jesus Christ, what a fool will do with his money. Well, I just hope you're not going to play it, Bart, because this conversation has already depressed me enough. We're supposed to be a cool vinyl emporium. It will do for our credibility what Bill Clinton did for cigar sales after probing the shapeliest raven-haired humidor in Washington.
Yeah, that ain't right. Records are made for playing. Cigars are made for smoking. But what's a humidor? Of course I'm not going to play it. Removing the shrink wrap would render the package worthless. Opening this after it's spent the last 35 years marinating in a sealed 1980s atmosphere would be a violation of all that is holy and pure. Yeah, like Bill Clinton repainting the walls of Monica Lewinsky's Oval Orifice. So we're back to smut and semen again, are we? I give up. I really do. There's just no point in even trying to elevate the conversation round here, is there?
I'll tell you what, Bart, look, let's just cut to the chase. Do you have something to sell to the punters or not?
Well, as a matter of fact, I do. I already own 4 copies of the rare Life in One Day pack, and I would like to give another Howard Jones fan somewhere in the world the pleasure of owning it for a very reasonable £40 plus postage. Let them wrestle with the delicious temptation to open the cellophane for a taste of the juicy vinyl within.
What are you doing, Bart?
The next best thing to playing it. Rubbing the cellophane against the microphone. And that is one dream I can put into action right now.